I woke staring at an unfamiliar grey ceiling. A gecko was spread-eagled directly above my head, in unconscious imitation of my position. It skittered away as I reached for my mobile phone, blinking on the bedside table. 6 a.m. I had slept only a couple of hours since my taxi had deposited me in darkness at the White Star Hotel in Lira, but felt wide awake, my body still on US time. I staggered to the bathroom, rinsed my face in water, wrenched open doors giving onto a balcony, and stepped out. The street lighting was so sparse that the only detail I retained from the drive-in was a giant "Welcome to Lira International Capital of Culture and Science" banner slung across the airport road. I wanted my first view of the city. But there was to be no grandiose panorama. My room lay at the back of the hotel, and I found myself gazing instead across a flat plateau, fringed by a jagged mountain range over which the sun was rising, thawing the thin layer of frost, crusting a russet-and-done patchwork of ploughed fields. A gentle wind was ruffling the tawny savanna grass that lapped around the hotel, setting off the rhythmic chirruping of invisible crickets. My nostrils crinkled as I caught an unfamiliar aroma, a mixture of chili powder, cumin, coriander, ginger, fenugreek and rosemary, I guessed, and the scent of roasting coffee. There were other, less appealing elements, the acid tang of what might be mule manure and petrol fumes from badly maintained cars. So this, I thought, was the smell of Lira. I craned across the balcony railing and looked north, registering that the escarpment lay above the cloud cover, which stretched across the horizon like a lumpy quilt, neatly tucked in at the corners. How high up were we then? 2,000 metres? More? I spotted a hawk fluttering above the plains in the chill layer where a cerulean sky merged with the navy of deep space. There was a giddy feeling of gravity defied. Both of us, woman and hawk, were suspended, far beyond the reach of ordinary mortals. Suddenly overwhelmed by nausea, I bowed my head, dry retching as the clot of grief and rage that had stoppered my throat since I'd lost Jake bubbled up. I spat once, took a deep breath, and closed my eyes. Cold air was as invigorating as a lungful of alpine oxygen. The sun on my face a caress. Something about being so close to eternity was waking me up. After months of lethargy, I felt a brisk sense of purpose. An unfamiliar sensation stirred inside. Hope. Like generations of sinners, mavericks, and reprobates before me, I'd joined the Foreign Legion, exiling myself from my own. And that self-banishment felt good. Winston was right. I should have done this sooner. Extracting a shawl and 2 thick box files from my luggage, I arranged myself in a tangle of wool at the balcony table. I'd once prided myself on being a meticulously briefed lawyer, but if there was one lesson recent personal history had taught me, and we'll come to that, it was that you can never really prepare. While serving my notice period with Grobert and Fitcham, I had focused exclusively on mundane tasks, selling the car, notifying my landlord, settling utilities bills. When a package from Winston had arrived containing a fold-up map, 3 chunky history books and several files of background information, I had not taken up the proffered invitation. I had a few hours now to get some overdue homework done. The place someone, presumably Winston, had written in red felt tip on the first file. It began with a photocopied page of a 1999 Brat guide to the region, 1 paragraph highlighted in yellow. Sanasa lies slap bang on the border between the tiny state of North Darrar